and I had a couple of those. Or no, I had one of those. Bethany had one of those. And I'm pretty sure he had most of the rest of them. And then he went to a liquor
Okay.
store and bought a 24 pack of Coors Light. And we had me, it was like us and then like two or three other people had all but three of those.
Dang.
I had like 5 beers yesterday.
Enjoy it while it lasts. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna go get water, and
Go
then
for it.
I will be ready.
We are
Yeah.
live
I know you
already,
started the stream
but
already. Yeah.
I need to link the stream in the Discord. Yay. How we doing, VOD audience? Landon went to get water. We are waiting on him. And also Al to show up. Um, let's see. I don't know when the fuck this is gonna go up. But
Who knows?
who knows? But I'm just speaking to the VOD audience right now because Al isn't here.
And also, you haven't shared your screen yet.
That is true. But we are waiting for Al.
I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share one of my gifts
Do it.
On the spoilers.
Ooh, Al's here.
So my mom's friend came to dinner with
Mm-hmm.
us, and she got me that.
That's a big. Wait, is that a regular
No,
size Dr. Pepper?
no, it's a mini Dr. Pepper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So one mini Dr. Pepper,
And a
and then
Kraken black spiced rum.
yes, a 50 milliliter, or yeah, 50 milliliter.
I guess
So
I could
I
have looked
haven't.
at the fluid ounces on the can instead of trying to like look in the background and see like, wait a minute, is this actually huge or
No, it's very small. It's supposed to be a drink.
yeah,
Yeah, or two.
a single
But
drink? I would say that's one drink.
I can ration
Seven
off the rum to have
seven
two.
point five fluid ounces of Dr. Pepper and I don't know how much is in that bottle of rum, but probably a little bit less.
Well, the rum is 50 milliliters, and the Dr. Pepper is 221 milliliters.
Considerably less then.
Yeah.
All right. Um, yeah, we're gonna get back to Apollo Justice. I need to turn my Switch on. That would probably help.
That that really helps sometimes. Only if you want to play the video game.
What do you mean no signal? Fuck you.
Because you didn't have it turned on when you started it,
There we
the
go.
program up. Listen to that.
Ooh, good pour. But I am drinking one of
Close
the three
close.
remaining Coors Lights from yesterday.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Where are we at? We are at 7 years ago.
7 years ago. Oh boy, we're jumping in hot.
Yeah, we are.
Hell yeah. Um,
Hot, fresh, and stanky.
what the fuck was I gonna say? I don't know. There's just something like There's just something about pounding a beer on a warm day outside. You can see, like, it makes me understand how they do it in King of the Hill, like, all the time, every day.
You just stand there and pound one.
Yep.
Yeah. It's good for you. Or so I've been told.
All right. It's time for 7 years ago. As soon as it'll load. It's taking a long time to load 7 years ago. Showdown time. So how are we doing, like, are you still going to be Phoenix?
Yeah, I'll still be the characters I was.
Okay.
Because you're still both of the Chris, you're supposed both of the Kristoff and
Yeah.
whatever. I forget who voice.
I have no idea. It's playing automatically, and I'm kind of like, I don't care. I'm not going to keep up with it.
Oh yeah, I know, but I was just trying to remember who fucking voiced Shady Smith the first time around.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember. I think that was me.
I think it might have been. Yeah, I think it was you.
I don't remember what his voice was, though. It's been forever.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of me talking. Hey, you know what? You get to play Gumshoe.
Hell yeah.
Oh, hey, pal.
Oh, hey, pal. This was, like last week?
Yeah. Whew. Okay. It's been a long time since I felt like such a rookie.
I also like how it is the old, like, art style.
Yes. Oh, you gotta try and relax. Ah, good morning, Mr. Imagmerg.
And Enigmer.
Enigmer?
Mr. Enigmer.
Mr. Enigmer?
I guess I'll be him. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly.
I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I'm prepared.
I understand I am asking the impossible of you.
Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards.
And that was enough.
Actually, it wasn't. Trust me.
This is 2019, I think. Yeah, because it's 7 years ago,
Yeah.
and this game takes place in 2026.
Yeah. Ooh, morning, Daddy.
Ah, so glad you came.
You okay, Daddy? They're picking on you?
I am fine, as always. This old boy is here to help me, after all.
That's young man to you. Oh, good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on.
Hi, Jack.
Hi, Kari.
Thanks. My first show's today, after all. Oh, I'm sure it is. The heck is she talking about? Oh, old boy.
I love how they put fucking... Her name is question mark, question mark, question mark, as if we don't know who the fuck this is.
Who is this character? Huh? Me? Look what he's started.
The The thing that I'm super thankful for in this part of the game is that I get a break from doing the Apollo voice.
Yeah. Um, here. What's this? I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important.
What's this? A memo for you or some such?
Not from the looks of it. What is this? Looks like a page from someone's diary? I'll give it a read later.
Why not right now?
Because it's not in my,
Oh, there it is.
Okay. Ooh, now it's in my court record.
Well, how do you feel about the trial today?
Well, we'll get through it somehow. Incidentally, the prosecutor today is a new guy, I hear.
Ah, an easy win then, yes?
They're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor's office.
So they're saying he's a clone tube baby?
He's a clone tube baby. Nazi clone tube baby. Of course, there's one of those every year.
I hate that we're done with the Zero Escape series because it's so funny.
Well, don't worry. We'll probably replay one or two of those games.
Probably
One year.
2 of them.
Yeah.
Exactly 2.
The third one's funny.
The third one is really funny.
Yeah.
The
Anyway.
switch. It's not a bad game, it's just really funny. The switching of attorneys just before the trial. I know it is a difficult situation I put you in. But allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright.
Yes?
They will not be able to pronounce me guilty today. So do your best, but do not worry.
First time a defendant's ever given me a pep speech. I'll do what I can.
I see you do not understand. You see, it will be impossible for them to declare a verdict.
Impossible?
Yes. Isn't that right, Trucy?
Yup. You bet, Daddy. My first look at the case was only yesterday.
It is weird to not voice the main character after having done it for the entire game up to this point.
You're welcome. And the information I was given was a tad bit lacking, to be honest.
The real question is if we keep this going into future games. Like, do you want to stay Phoenix in future games as well?
We'll see. We'll see.
Because he doesn't show up as much in the next 2. I mean, like, he has...
Spirit, he's in quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next one, he's, like, kind of there.
He's there for, like, half of it.
Yeah. Still, I'll do what I can for their sake.
I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. I forgot that was my line. I am in your capable hands, Mr. Wright.
My client is Shady Enigma, known to the world as Zach Gramer, a wildly popular musician. magician,
A musician.
Star of Troop Grammar. His mentor, Magnifique Grammary, is a rare breed of magician. He single-handedly ushered in the golden age of stage music.
Stage music.
Stage music. Stage magic. Until he was shot dead. And Zach Grammar is the suspect. Okay. The court is now in session for the trial of Shady Enigma. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
I also like how it goes back to the old music as well.
Yeah. Now that I can hear it.
True. Sorry.
It's okay. One day. Is the prosecution ready?
I was just thinking, is this what all the fuss is about? Bit of a buzzkill, really.
Oh, is that is that some new kind of crime?
One of the worst. This is a trial, yeah? Where are the sweaty palms, the pounding hearts? A governor's concert's got 10 times the thrill this gig's got.
Jesus. Who were you again?
Clavier Gavin. I came to get the party started. Legally, yeah?
Gavin? Defense attorney Christoph Gavin?
Clone tube, yes. Clone
Oh.
tube, baby. Ah, figures my bro's more famous in this part of town.
Clavier Gavin. Lead singer of the Mega Shit Band.
Mega shit band. Phoenix is a
The
hater.
Mega Hit Band. Yeah. He would be. The Mega Hit Band. The Governors. You're out of your league, Rock Boy.
Rocket League?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, another point on the board for Icon, baby. I know what you're thinking. You're out of your league, Rocket League. True, my debut single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love, went platinum overnight. But that's just a hobby to me compared to this, yeah?
Talkative, aren't you? I like your affected Euro rock accent, by the way.
I'm just getting warmed up, Herr Attorney Wright.
Perhaps you would be so kind as to fill us in on the case.
Achtung, baby. Time to call on the opening act. What was his name again?
Boy.
Ah, yes. Detective Gumshoe. Hit it! Yeah! Gumshoe!
Yeah!
Gumshoe, yeah! And you are? Hey, you were the one who called me up here, sir. Name's Dick Gumshoe. I'm a homicide detective down at the precinct.
Detective Gumshoe. Long time, no see.
Hey, you!
Huh? Me?
Today's the day, pal. Today, I win, and you lose. I got confidence in my testimony today, see?
What, you normally lack confidence in your testimony?
Herr Detective, this is my stage. Can the antics. Huh? All this hey youing and such. Shut up, Windows.
Come on, Windows.
I don't even know what it... No thanks. Get out of here. I don't care about weather updates.
Your Windows. Yeah, who cares about the weather?
And I could care less about your weather updates or your history together.
Well, Detective Gumshoe, if you would, please tell us about the case at hand.
It happened 6 days back in a room at the General Hospital. The facts are as simple as they come. Here's the crime scene. The victim was a patient, asleep in a hospital bed. The killer comes in, puts a pistol to his forehead, and bam, lights out. Them's the facts.
Not so long ago, the victim, Magnifi Gramry, was a famous man.
Holy shit, look at that cat. Look at that turtle.
Holy shit, look at that cat and turtle and
Oh, and the elephant. Holy
my
shit.
God.
I don't care about the guy in the middle, but holy shit.
Yeah. Hey, give me some turtle stew. He had the entire country under his magical spell, as it were.
Speaking of elephants, I'm going to order elephant ears.
Who wants elephant ears?
Nah, he just has a deep fryer in the courtroom.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes, the great magician. He retired years ago, though. Say the name Magnify to one of my generation, and you'd be lucky to get a blank stare.
Yes, though I'm sure the youngsters today know his disciples even better. I dare say, True Grammary has made quite a name for themselves.
Anyhow, the retired Magnify's been in the hospital for the last year. What was it? A mall-ignorant tutor or something. Doing something to his liver, I think. Yeah. Drinking himself to death.
Yeah. What did he just say? What did Gumshoe call it?
Oh, a mall-ignorant tutor.
A mole ignorant. A mole ignorant tumor. Huh? Perhaps.
In other words, he had liver cancer. He had only 3 months left to live, in fact.
Oh. The facts do seem simple enough. But something's not right.
The victim was already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven. Why not wait for him to knock on heaven's... Fuck you. Why shoot him?
I wouldn't have put it quite so lyrically, but it's true. Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die?
Incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes.
Diabetes?
In fact, he was about to shoot up with insulin. When he was shot with a pistol, the syringe was found at the crime scene. Chronic diabetes and cancer. As much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life. Clack.
I believe the question before us is clear then. Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had?
Very well, detective. Perhaps you can enlighten us as to the circumstances of the shooting. Yes, sir.
I hope you didn't forget who you were.
I almost did. The circumstances, pal. Oh yeah, we have ages. Well, that was unfortunately
40.
inevitable. How old is what's his name?
Why isn't Phoenix there?
Because the main character never has a profile for themselves, or like the playing character. 64. I'm gonna say
go
69.
I'm gonna go with 65.
67. Damn it.
Haha!
Trucy is
I win.
Trucy is 8. We know that already. But
Yeah.
bam. How the fuck old is Clavier?
Forget how old he is in the
He's like 26, so he's like 19.
19.
Gonna say 19. 17. We were way off.
Wow.
Damn.
I mean, Al also said 19, so
we were in agreement.
Gumshoe.
Gumshoe. I don't remember how old he is at this point in the game. I want to say
I
like
don't.
34.
I'll go 35. Al probably remembers.
Probably. 38. 38. Damn. 32.
Damn. Why isn't he in the... He would be in his, like, freaking late 30s, early 40s. He should just be still in the series.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't bring him back. He's like such a fan favorite. Name a person
Capcom.
Name a person who doesn't love Gumshoe.
Capcom.
What the fuck, Capcom?
Yeah.
Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do him in. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder. Crapcom, true dat. The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir. Landon.
I said, what? You're saying the victim ordered his own shooting?
Those are the facts. I have here the letter in question.
I love Jack. I trust. Oh, okay. Very unusual indeed. Although, could such a thing as a letter cause one to pull a trigger? I wonder.
I believe the answer to that question can be found at the end of the letter.
Ah, you cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Detective Gumshoe, can you explain this to the court?
Unfortunately, even the defendant won't say a peep about that bit, sir.
One thing bothers me about this. Why didn't he just say 11? Why have him come at 11:05 without some specific reason?
The devil is in the details, Herr Attorney.
Well, was there some reason?
As it turns out, there was. Every night for a half hour, starting at 11, the victim, Magnify Grammary, was given an IV. A 4, if you will.
A 4?
And a 4.
And 4? There it is in the picture, off to the side of the bed. And 4.
At 11, a doctor would come to set up the IV. 30 minutes later, he would come back for the empty bag. This happened every night without fail.
So, that was the only time they could meet without the chance of an untimely interruption? During his IV?
I like how you made it into a question.
No. Very well. Shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you would. What's the reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? He could have at least mentioned it to me.
Cross-examination.
Hey, Apollo!
Trucy, I don't think we exist yet. At least we don't know each other. We don't know each other yet.
Oh, well, do you want to voice lines as Gumshoe, or do you want to just move along with the game?
Well, we already went through these.
I know, but if you press on statements, then you can voice more as Gumshoe.
That's true. This is also the last time we get to see Gumshoe in the series.
Yeah, I just want to give you the option. I can tell you what you're supposed to do.
How many cross-examinations are there for Gumshoe?
Let me check. Because this is the only cross-examination for this part of the game.
So just this one then?
Yeah, because when we come back, we have to talk to Valorant.
Damn. Okay. Alright, we'll fucking we'll press everything. What's the last thing we need to do?
Press statement 3 last.
Okay. We're gonna milk the Gumshoe. The phrasing.
Yeah. We're gonna milk Gumshoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because he got the letter doesn't mean he went through with it.
Oh, I disagree. The victim was, indeed, shot in the forehead, after all. Just as he had commanded.
It could be a setup. But let's not be in such a hurry. Maybe we should let the witness talk for a change.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah. He said pal.
Fine. I can play it slow as well as I can play it fast. On with the testimony, Detective Gumshoe.
And this letter was sent by the victim?
There it is! Gotcha! You're all mine this time, pal!
Huh?
I had the handwriting checked out, of course. It's the victim's. No mistake.
Ah, I see.
Ha 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 ha! Score one for the boys!
Score 1 for Icon, baby!
Another point for Icon, baby!
I didn't lose. I was just reasserting the facts. Or ascertaining the facts. Whoa. Anyway, so why am I so annoyed? But a letter ordering your own death? I can understand ordering 3 fish tacos, a beef stew, 13 elephant ears, and 18 pints of Tillamook ice cream, but your own death? Things just aren't what they used to be, I guess.
I love how it's always beef stew.
Beef stew? I don't know why.
It's just so
Just
funny.
the idea of him slurping down a beef stew while up there.
He just has like 7 crock pots just like set up like on different timers, so there's like always a beef stew ready to go.
The judge is my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm glad I will be able to voice the judge forever at the very least.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. He's the one character I will not give away. You can have Phoenix in all of the next games. You can voice every other character. I just want to keep voicing the judge.
Yeah, of course.
Especially because of how funny the first case ended up being.
Yeah, with the chips.
Counting. Yeah. I'm not sure this is exactly commonplace, even now, Your Honor. Although, if you're having beef stew, can I get later?
So anyway, guess I'll keep going on while I'm ahead.
I skipped to number 4.
Yep.
Hold it. You mean this pistol, the one in the crime scene photo?
That's the one. It's a funny
Oh,
looking.
actually,
Huh?
we could go back and press on statement 3 because we're gonna have to press on more statements after.
Oh, okay.
it. Yeah.
It's
Alright, go ahead.
It's a funny looking gun. There's no mistake in it. We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with a bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullet were a perfect match.
So you verified the murder weapon, in other words.
You bet we did.
Yeah, you can go ahead and press on statement.
Yeah, oh well.
That's fine. We'll do what we need to. Why are you so certain?
What pile of sand has your head been stuck in all this time, pal? You never heard of Zack and Valorant's quick draw shoot 'em? In Valorant?
Huh? What the fuck's Valorant?
Valorant didn't exist in 2019.
Exactly.
They're playing Fortnite.
Oh.
One of the
Quick draw
defendants-
shoot 'em in Fortnite.
One of the defendant's specialties. Zack and Valorant stand on either side of a girl. Then they shoot. But the bullets don't hit her. Instead, they hit everything else on stage. This was one of the pistols they used in their show. Got a great design, huh? The kids love it. Spaceballs the flamethrower.
Spaceballs the magic pistol.
Many boys and girls join the police because of that pistol, I hear. Gross.
Jesus. You know, that would explain a lot of the police force.
Troop
A lot about
Grammary
the
stopped
police
doing that act a while ago. The old man held on to that pistol ever since.
The court would like to see the pistol in question.
You got it, sir. Here she is.
Oh. Well, this truly is a blast from the past.
It's a stage pistol for magic and for magic shows, see?
For magic and shit.
But it can fire real bullets.
It looks so much bigger in real life than on TV. How do they do that?
Yeah, but it can only hold one round. By the way,
What
the
the
pistol's
fuck?
firing chamber is empty. And it shows traces of having been fired recently.
So, were any fingerprints found on the gun?
Unfortunately, no. Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. We might say that a lack of fingerprints is, in fact, a fingerprint of its own.
Intriguing point. Well made. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not well made. Not intriguing. In any case, the court accepts this evidence. I need something to eat my beef stew with. My grandchild would get a kick out of seeing this. I'm gonna give it to him after today's session. But anyway, if I can return to the testimony or whatever.
I didn't have time to get. Oh, wait, that's still. God damn it.
Apollo didn't have time to gather all the details before coming here. Neither did I. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
God.
This testimony might be the only source of information.
I knew as, like, at some point I was going to make the mistake of, like, just seeing blue text and automatically start reading it.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to reading all of Apollo's inner thoughts.
That's funny. Better pay attention and read this letter carefully.
To my beloved student Zach, to you I entrust the task of lowering my life's curtain. Come on the 13th, 11:05 p.m. I've already a gun with which you will shoot one shot. Excuse me. Square in the forehead. He cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Seems fate's clock will make me wait a little longer. At least only less than 10 swift minutes remain. To all those who have supported me in my life's work, I give thanks. Farewell. Gun. It feels
This is
weird.
what I use to stir with beef stew.
It feels weird for Phoenix to be here without an assistant.
I know. That's why I wasn't sure who I was gonna... Well, one, I'm not the one who's... Anyway, that's why I went with the Trucy asking Apollo voice. Thank you, Al.
Happy day after Landon's dad's son's birth eve.
Yeah.
To you, Landon. Landon's
dad's son's both, like, post-birth eve day.
Happy day after my birthday.
Oh, sure, whatever.
Who gives a shit about that?
Yeah, we only care about Landon's dad's son's birth eve.
All right.
Did your mom end up getting you Persona 3?
I haven't been to my parents' house yet. I'm gonna visit them on
Damn.
Sunday.
You should break in and be like, where is it? Where is it?
I just haven't had time.
Yeah, that's fair. How can you be so sure?
Hey, gotta learn to stop relying on people to do your thinking for you, pal. I learned that the hard way. Learn to think for yourself.
Where is Miles anyway?
Get that noggin cranking.
You fail to grasp the concept of questioning, detective.
First, we got this letter. It says, shoot in the forehead, loud and clear.
I can see that, but I still wouldn't do it.
Well, maybe you need to grow yourself a backbone, pal.
Jesus. You fail to grasp the concept of shooting people is bad, detective.
We also found the defendant's pistol at the scene. Traces of gunpowder residue shows that it had been fired recently.
Well, you might not stage. don't know why Trucy's just in the wings shouting that. Well, Mr. Wright? As far as I can tell from looking at this photo,
I love how it's just a clean hole through his forehead. No blood.
yo, what the fuck? There seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim. You know, they probably did that to make sure they didn't get a super high rating.
True.
Yeah. The photo. Maybe there's something in there I can use. So they're saying the defendant shot the victim in the forehead. I think there's a hole in the prosecution's argument. Clearly, Mr. Enigma shot something else. Looking at this photo, another possibility occurs to me. Yes? What does the letter tell us? That the defendant had a reason he could not refuse, his teacher's wishes.
Bingo, pal! That's why the defendant popped him one in the forehead.
Oh, the defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make.
What, and you can prove that with this photo?
I can prove he had a choice, yes. The defendant might have fired like he was ordered. But he didn't shoot the victim's forehead. Well, let's hear what you're thinking, Mr. Wright. If he didn't shoot the victim's forehead, what did the defendant shoot?
Gee, I wonder.
I wonder...
This part of the game is for babies.
Yeah. The clown doll? But that's for babies. Actually, sir, take a closer look. See? It's been shot in the forehead, too. Ah! There is a hole in its forehead. Yes, and a hole in the prosecution's claim.
Ha! And I suppose you have a reason as to why he'd shoot the clown doll?
He didn't just shoot the clown doll. He shot the clown doll's forehead.
His forehead? Ah!
Read the orders once more. Or let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot one shot square in the forehead. Which is exactly what he did. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead. The defense has raised an intriguing possibility. The hole in the clown's forehead, it definitely looks like it was shot. Bailiff, where's my chalupas? Also, send someone to investigate this matter.
I got your chalupas right here, pal.
Oh, thank you, detective.
I admit I'm impressed, but I expected nothing less. Still, this doesn't mean he didn't shoot the victim.
Perhaps he did have to shoot a forehead as ordered. But the letter says nothing about whose forehead. This is the only way he could have followed his orders without taking a life. The bullet hole in the clown's forehead does demand an explanation. It may very well be a clue, yet Prosecutor Gavin is right. It alone does not prove the defense's innocence. You cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim.
So sorry, Mr. Wright. How sad it is. Wait, he said Mr. instead of hair.
Hair? You could just say it as hair.
It's just weird
Yeah.
that he didn't. He's usually on top of that shit. His fake German is slipping. How sad it is to see the mighty fall.
How sad it is to see a novice's overconfidence. He doesn't realize just how big this little hole is going to get.
Phrasing.
Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, yes, pal? Can I take your order?
Yeah, I'll have 2 more chalupas, a soft taco, and a 5-layer beefy taco.
Do you want
And
sauce with
then-
that?
Give me hot sauce, the fire, please. And, let's see, what do you want, Gavin?
Let's see. I'll take 3 soft tacos and a Baja Blast.
A Baya Blast.
A Baja Blast.
Baya Blast. Oh, nothing for Phoenix. That'll be all go.
Hey, wait a
Wait,
minute.
what? Wait a minute. Please take this newfound fact into account as you continue your testimony.
Do we press on this one as well?
The added one, after you've pressed on statements 4 and 5,
Which we
you
have.
should have the stage pistol. You should now be able to present the stage pistol on the new statement,
Yeah.
and that'll finish it all up.
You can only shoot one shot.
The trickiest cases often seem the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you missed the bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand?
Yeah, but like I just said, pal, after he shot the clown in the forehead, he went and...
Did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he could not. The murder weapon? How? It's quite simple, Your Honor. The pistol only holds 1 bullet at a time.
Sorry.
If he had shot the clown in the forehead, he couldn't have shot the victim too.
Yarr! That's not a contradiction. Not even close. All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shot.
Oh? Where do you get the extra bullet? They're not so easy to come by, you know? You can claim the defendant had one ready. Then prove it to us how he got it.
Urgh. Heh. Ha ha ha. I had a feeling this wasn't over yet. No, this party's just getting started. And I haven't proven anything yet, beyond my good looks and my startling record sales.
And utter lack of humility. What's this? It seems the prosecution has another witness prepared.
Like I said, Herr Detective was just the warm-up act. Ugh. Now that the audience has gotten a taste of what's to come, they're ready.
Ready for what?
For my decisive witness, of course. A witness who, you will find, can prove one thing for us. That it was Zach Gremory who shot the victim in the forehead.
No, don't let him go away. Very
No.
well. We will pause for a 15-minute recess. And Gumshoe, you're fired.
Goodbye forever, Gumshoe.
Actually, doesn't he show up in the investigation section?
I don't know.
Because you do a bit as Phoenix. Or is it just Meekins that shows up?
Oh, God. Fucking If we get just Meekins instead of Gumshoe, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Meekins has a Psylocke. Yeah, so I don't know. Okay.
You need to do your lines.
Huh? Oh. This might be my lucky break. I'll need that 15 minutes to talk to my client, Zach. Court is adjourned.
To be continued.
To be continued. Yay. Well, we're easily going to get through the rest of this trial.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because there's like only 2 testimonies to the next part of the trial.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's just the investigation section. That's gonna.
Yeah. It's a little bit early, but I think we can do break time.
We've been at it for about an hour.
Yeah. It's enough for a break time.
Hour-ish.
We're at a to be continued. Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah. Fuck it. We're gonna break.
Break time.
It's my birthday. We're gonna break.
It's Lennon's birthday. We're gonna break.
I have Tillamook.
Your toothbrush is replaced. This perch.
That's true.
I'm back.
Hi, back.
Hi, Landon. Alright. Let's go. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. I have to say, I expected nothing less.
We've only just begun. I was hoping you could tell me a little bit more about what happened, actually.
I did not think you would believe me if I told you. Better that you discover the truth for yourself. I was thinking of you, you know.
I think we need less thinking and more talking. That night in the hospital, what really happened?
Ah, the way your eyes gleam, Mr. Wright. You'll scare Trucy.
Speaking of which, where is she?
You have seen the problem yourself. The letter.
The one shot in the forehead one, right?
Yes, and the reason he speaks of. I could not deny my mentor's wishes, even if it meant my own death.
Why not?
This is something I will not say. For now, at least.
What's this for now business?
I have done many things in my life. Some well, some poorly. But this is a cross we must bear alone to our graves.
We?
You wanted to know about the night of the incident.
Finally, this guy sure likes to take his time getting to the important stuff.
Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time, and found there upon his bedside table were 2 pistols.
Two?
Yes, the one I had used on stage, and the one that had been used by my partner, Valorant.
Oh, for the Zack and Valorant's quick draw thing?
My mentor had the look of one sleeping. I stood by his bedside, hearing only the light sound of breathing. Then I took the pistol into my hand. I cannot deny that my resolve faltered in for a moment. Faltered then, fathered.
Fathered him for a moment? You fathered? I mean, faltered? You mean you thought about shooting him?
Recall there was a reason I could not refuse his request. His last such request, though not his first.
So, there were other requests you couldn't refuse before?
To be honest, I've not always been steadfast, and I fear I've brought pain upon Trucy.
Was Magnifique coercing his disciples somehow? Just what was going on with True Grammary?
Yet, in the end, I did not shoot him. Instead, I turned and shot the clown. I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket.
In your pocket?
I believe if you examine the bullet in the clown's head, you will find it to be different than the one in my mentor. The What were those called?
Rifling marks?
Yes. Well, that is all I have to tell you concerning the case.
Concerning the case? You mean there's something else you can tell me?
Ha ha ha. You are a fascinating man, Mr. Wright.
Thanks?
Yes, there is something. My mentor, his eyes opened.
What? Magnifique Grammary?
The old devil. He was not asleep, you see. Of course, the gunshot would have woken him anyway. And there we had our last discussion as mentor and pupil. It was not a long discussion, maybe 5-10 minutes or so.
What did you talk about?
Haha, Mr. Wright, did I not just tell you? It does not concern this case.
Zach Grammary seems pretty steadfast to me, or maybe just stubborn.
Mr. Wright, your presence is requested in the courtroom. Once again, I am in your hands.
Right. Let's get back in there. Court is now back in session.
During a recess, a bullet was found in and dug it out from the clown's head.
Well, this is news. The rifling marks?
There wasn't a time to do a detailed analysis, though they did find the weapon type matches the murder weapon.
Well, that's not very conclusive, is it?
Which is why I'm about to call my very decisive witness.
Your decisive witness? How many times have I heard those words? Though they often turn out to be far less decisive than you think.
Oh, don't worry on my account. I'm quite confident this witness will do the job. After all, he is intimately acquainted with the players in our little production. Being the other half of Troop Grammary's famous duo, Zack and Valorant.
Valorant Grammary. So we get to meet the great Magnifie's other disciple.
Perhaps we'll start by asking your name and occupation. Valorant Grammary, Magician.
And you're the decisive witness, are you? Can you prove your fellow student your partner's guilt?
Fate, the grand illusion, filled with traps and tricks and sticks.
Wait, the shooting took place in the hospital after 11 o'clock at night. If you're a witness, does that mean that you were there that late?
If one were to deduce this logically, the conclusion is yes.
Okay. I always get the characters, don't I?
I have an interesting fact for you. You see, several days before the crime, my witness received this.
That looks very familiar. Wait. That's the same letter Zach Grammar received.
Yes. Or perhaps I should say, ta-da! My god, that hair.
Jesus. Order! Order in the court. And what does it say? Surely not the same thing.
Perhaps you should see for yourself.
To member love student Valorant. Why? It's practically the same. The court accepts this into evidence. This is most unusual. Exactly what is going on with you folks? What exactly is your troop grammarly up to?
By which you mean?
I'm just having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his students to kill him. Both of them, no less.
It's just my opinion, Herr Judge, but from these letters I'd say he was coercing them, not asking them. We walked to the magician's path together, and in so doing shared much of our lives. When people are so close, there is a strain, warping of relations, you might say. Yet this has nothing to do with the case at hand.
By which you mean you're not gonna tell us. Well, that makes me wonder even more about this reason they couldn't refuse. Well, let's get on with the testimony for starters. The defendant, Zach Gramery, stands accused. Tell us why. Tell me why.
I'll do more than that. For where he walks, the red roses rise, singing hymns to the miracle that is magic.
What? Fascinating. Though I hardly need to remind you. That the evidence could just as clearly point to you as the suspect. The letter, the murder weapon. And now, the 2 bullets found at the scene. In fact, the only difference seems to be the designated time.
As every magician knows, timing is everything. Yes, and now it's time to get this party fired up. Testimony, woo! That night,
Hey, follow?
We're not even on that part yet.
I want to skip ahead. I don't like this guy. I mean,
fair enough, but...
Yeah. Anyway, I guess you can keep talking.
That night, I visited the hospital room at the Magnify requested. At the time, Magnify requested. The smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final bow. I did not imagine my fellow student might have received the same instructions. Yet a deal with the dead is still a deal. Death's sweet kiss. I gave it to the clown. Then I informed the doctor and the police.
So you were the one to report the crime? Also Al. True.
Indeed. I would think. This fact alone would clear my name of suspicion.
Let's not jump to any conclusions. Yet, the cross-examination generally comes before the conclusions in the court. Or, yes, cross-examination. But, if your testimony proves to be true, then the defendant, Zach Gramery, is guilty. And if it wasn't Zach Gramery, then the killer was you, Valorant. And no disappearing act will get you out of that. Okay, Apollo, just press statement 4.
Okay.
There were 2 bullet holes found at the scene. One in the victim and one in the clown. You're saying the one who shot the clown was you?
Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry, I was reading a message. No doubt my partner Zach has said much the same thing.
Yeah, because whoever didn't shoot the clown committed murder. I better dig around here a bit more and see what I can turn up. Mr. Valorant, let me ask you about something else concerning the crime scene. Namely, the number of pistols. How many pistols were there when you entered the room?
By which you mean what, precisely?
2 pistols were used in the Zack and Valorant quick draw shoot 'em, correct? One for each of you.
You are well informed, yet only one of my old friends sat in the hospital room that night.
What did Zack tell me back in the lobby?
Flashback. Wow, flashback, wow. I wish I could skip this.
Here. I see. No problem with that statement. Only one pistol is visible in the photograph of the crime scene, after all. So you picked up the pistol and fired it.
Indeed I did. Alakazam, alakazing, alakaboom.
Is the number of pistols really so important?
Quite important.
Quite important. The number of pistols is quite important, Your Honor. Very well. Please add this detail to your testimony.
What else can I do but obey? Or what can I do but obey? Not what else.
Present the sage pistol. According to the defendant, Zach Gramery, when he entered the room, there were 2 pistols on the table. 2? One of the pistols he used to shoot the clown in the forehead. Oh, one of those pistols he used to shoot the clown in the forehead. Then he left with it in his pocket.
Of course, this is what he would say. Unlike the hapless clown, we must assume our defendant has some brains in his head.
Well, what about what Mr. Valorant had told us? You see, there's something about his testimony that doesn't make sense.
What might that be? I told you, I took the pistol that was there and shot the clown.
That's your story, at least. But the rifling marks tell a very different story. Mr. Valorant, recall what Prosecutor Gavin told us.
Wow, flashback.
Well, flashback. I'm still not even here. I haven't had a line in ages. What the fuck? I'm like the star of the show.
Ah,
I agree. Mr. Valorant, if you fired this pistol, then you shot the victim in the forehead. Order, order, order. Well, this is all rather sudden.
what have I done?
Prosecutor Gavin? I thought you left for the day.
I owe the court an apology. Sorry.
Sorry? For what?
You see, I was unaware that 2 of these unique pistols were crafted. The analysis of the rifling marks only proved the type of gun that fired them.
But that's not what you told us before. You filthy fucking liar. You said you'd verified the murder weapon.
Which is why I'm apologizing to you now. Quite sincerely, I might add. Would you hold me accountable for a mistake made in my youth?
Yeah. That was just this morning. You fucking asshole.
I am still young. And, I might add, it wasn't really my fault. If the defendant had only admitted he took the 1 pistol from the scene of the crime, we would not be having this pleasant discussion now.
Valorant Grammary?
Yes, Your Honor.
Drop dead. Oh, you were presented to this court as a decisive witness. but you've proven to be more divisive than decisive.
You'll see in time. The testimony so far has merely been a review of the facts. The proof comes next.
Oh, can you elaborate, Prosecutor Gavin?
When Mr. Valorant entered the hospital room, the victim had already been shot. And his next testimony will prove. See, he says hair right this time. Hair right, the real fight is about to begin.
Bring it. Bring it, loser. Got him. Very well. The witness will now testify to the court. Help us determine who shot what. Oh no.
I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation, then called the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m. And the one in the room at that time was my partner, not me.
Those times are rather close. You have to admit. You're talking about an alibi established over a matter of minutes. To use a 10-minute discrepancy,
Discrepancy.
as the basis of your alibi.
Is easy to explain in this situation, Herr Judge. For example, take our debut hit single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love. Cue to the song, press the play button, and it will play for 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Do it 100 times and the result is the same.
Their debut single was only 2 minutes and 15 seconds long? What a ripoff.
Magic is a world of utmost precision. Hocus pocus requires admirable focus.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. And in the time of death determined by the doctor, there is an incontrovertible truth.
Very well. The prosecution warns us we're dealing with rather precise times. We can accept that cross-examination is required the same level of precision.
I would hope the defense refrains from its customarily broad, sweeping accusations, lest we blur the focus this case so clearly demands.
Point taken. Baseless remarks will result in a penalty. Carry on, Mr. Wright. Carry on. Right.
That's me.
That's me. Phoenix Wright. Hey, Apollo!
Hi, Tracy.
Press Stephen 4. I don't think I'm stepping out on a limb to say I have some doubts about this. How could the doctor be so precise with the time? We do usually only get an estimated time of death. True. I'm not so sure I've heard of a verified time of death.
Magic revels in making the complex appear simple, but reality is the opposite. What appears complex, in this case, is a simple matter of subtraction.
I see another person has done their arithmetic homework.
The point here is the IV the victim was taking. It's quite visible in the photograph of the evidence. Recall what we heard earlier about the victim. Magnify Gramarye's schedule. Every night at 11, Magnify Every night at 11, Magnify took an IV drip for 30 minutes.
I can see the IV bag right there. Yes.
Now, look a little closer. Follow the tube down from the bag to the end.
Ah, the needle's been removed.
Sorry, did you say that line already?
The needle's been removed? Yeah, I did say it.
Okay. Doubtlessly, it fell out when he was shot.
That would seem to be the case.
When the needle comes out, the IV no longer drips.
Ah, you can just measure the remaining IV liquid.
Precisely. The IV liquid functions, for our purposes, as an hourglass of sorts. This is how the doctor determined the time of death. From the amount remaining in the bag, it was determined that the IV had stopped 10 minutes after administration began. And so it was, when I, Valorant, entered the room. 10 minutes had passed since that horrible crime was committed. And this is proof.
Well, Mr. Wright? Did it seem important? Very important. Well, seeing how it is the biggest clue we have to the time of death. I'd say it's very important. Agreed. It would be hard to imagine a more precise way to determine the time. Behold the power of arithmetic.
Oh no.
1, 2,
Buckle my shoe.
3, 4. Shut the door. 5, 6. Eat up chalupas. 7, 8. Beef stew. Anyway, witness, you will add this detail to your testimony.
Sometimes the most magical thing of all is the truth.
Jesus. Hey, why don't we press on this statement? Did you notice the IV yourself by any chance?
When I first entered that room, the stench of gunpowder assailed me. Next, the mark of death upon my mentor's forehead. And then, his left arm did a I spy, a rose drooping and wilted. Its thorn, the discarded IV needle. knocked from the vein by the force of the shot, luckily for you. If that IV had not been there, why, you might be a suspect. Indubitably so. I might say it's thanks to my lucky color.
Your lucky color?
Indeed. Even today I wear it proudly upon my suspect self. For it always, without fail, brings me luck. Why, when Zack and Valorant won their first Magician's Grand Prix... Yes, the very one held by the Association of International Magicians. I was adorned in this attire then, too, and our trophy, a bust. Ah, what a day that was.
This is one trip down memory lane no one needs.
My lucky color indeed. Yes, indeed. And that IV, too. I say, I think 'twas hued especially for me, Valorant. Valorant. I kind of inflected that wrong. Oh well.
Does that seem to be the case? That does seem to be the case, indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, any thoughts on this testimony? Raylan sure looks happy with himself. Okay,
There's a
how about this
contradiction.
lucky color testimony? There's a contradiction. It certainly sounds like your lucky colors brought you plenty of luck. But not this time. Mr. Valorant, your lucky colors betrayed you.
I'm afraid you've lost me.
Your Honor, the witness's testimony just now clearly contradicts the evidence. What? Please recall my warning at the beginning of the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Baseless accusations will be duly penalized. I do hope this latest accusation is well-based. Don't worry, I've got all your bases right here. All your bases belong to us. Very well, let's hear the defense's claim. Where is your evidence that contradicts what Mr. Valorant has told us? Present the crime photo. It's green. Like my piss. The crime scene tells us all, Your Honor. The photo of the crime scene?
All this talk of color has me yearning for black and white, clear-cut simplicity.
He said yearning! Urinating!
Tell us, Herr Wright, just where is the contradiction in this photo?
My pleasure, and I assure you, it's quite simple. If you would just take your glasses off. But I can't promise anything in black and white. Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is it in this photo that contradicts testimony. It's just the IV bag. Valorant Grammar. Let's get one thing straight about your lucky color. It's yellow, yes?
Kind of takes the mystery out of it, but yes.
Something wrong with yellow, Mr. Wright? It's the color of my piss. Yes, there is. Decisively wrong, in fact. Take another look at the photo of the crime scene. What's this?
Confusion, doubt. Tell us, what do your elderly eyes spy?
Even my elderly eyes can see a problem here, Mr. Valorant. Look at your 4 bag.
Ack! What is this? What foul magic?
It would be hard to call that IV liquid yellow. And I'm afraid no magic was involved in the taking of this photograph.
Alaka, no!
He has 18 birds and 4 bunnies up his sleeve the whole time.
Did you say?
Come on, Discord. There we go. Order! Order! What does this mean?
This is some kind of mistake.
Yes, Prosecutor Gavin. Your witness's mistake. Ack. The greener they are, the harder they fall. I suppose there's no substitute for experience. Valorant Grammar, as you reminded us several times, your lucky color is yellow, but the IV is clearly not.
Well?
This contradiction can mean only one thing.
And to think, you almost had me.
Huh?
I see your true colors now, Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright.
Hey, that's my name. Something you'd like to tell us, Prosecutor Gavin? As far as court can tell, the witness's testimony does contradict the evidence.
Ha ha ha. Yes, a contradiction. One that I shall be pleased to hand right back to Mr. Wright.
How do you mean?
How? Because the witnesses made no mistakes. I agree. At a glance, the IV liquid does appear a sort of greenish yellow. But I assure you the liquid itself is quite yellow.
Yellow liquid?
Like my
How can
pee?
you say that? Like my pee?
Oh, sorry.
As far as I can tell from this photo, it's green.
Yes, but what color is the IV bag itself?
The bag? You mean the plastic bag on the hook? It looks like I want to say like a light blue.
Precisely. Figured it out yet? Put a yellow liquid into a blue bag and...
You got green.
This, incidentally, is the liquid's true color.
I see. Your explanation does have the ring of truth to it. As I thought. There's no substitute for experience, Prosecutor Gavin.
What?
You may tell a good tale. But you've just proven something rather grave. For you, that is.
Grave!
The liquid in the IV is yellow. Yes. But how did this witness know that? Quite unnatural when you think about it. You did think about it, didn't you?
Ah, irk.
Your Honor, the defense requests an explanation from the witness. At the scene of the crime, the IV liquid appears to be green. So let me ask. How did the witness know the IV liquid was actually yellow?
Alakazoo!
Order! 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 Mr. Wright, you will explain this at once. The witness clearly knew the color of the IV liquid. So, I'm sure it means something, but what? I can't figure it out. You have to tell me. I can think of only one possibility, Your Honor. The witness, Valorant Grammary, has testified that the IV liquid was yellow because he'd seen it before.
Oh, sorry. Hold
Okay. From the facts before us, the answer is clear. The witness knew that the IV liquid was yellow. Why? Because he'd seen it before. But not inside the blue bag we see in the photo. He saw the liquid by itself in a clear, colorless bag. I suppose he would have to, but I'm still not clear as to what this means. Ask yourself, why would he know if he didn't work at the hospital? That's where you'll find your meaning, Your Honor.
I'm afraid I find nothing. So what if he knew the IV liquid's color? Leave the getting excited over absolutely nothing to our teeny bopper fans, yeah?
What? The IV liquid is the only evidence proving the time of death. A 30-minute hourglass with 20 minutes worth of sand remaining. Your claim, Prosecutor Gavin. I remember it well. It was 17 minutes ago. However, there's a critical difference between an hourglass and an IV bag. Whoa, wait. Oh, I know.
I know! Pick me! Pick me!
Pick me! Please! Please! An hourglass uses sand, but an IV bag uses liquid. Like stew. Am I right? As much as it pains me to say this, Your Honor, no. Unlike the sands through an hourglass, IV liquid enters the patient's body. At which point, like magic, it disappears for good. Eh. However, what if the amount of IV liquid had increased? You can't tell, could you? After all, there's no way of knowing how much went in.
Let me get this straight, hair right. You're saying that the witness watered down the victim's IV bag?
Not with water, but with IV liquid. That's how you knew the IV liquid is yellow.
Now wait! Wait! I said wait! Who might an amateur such as myself essay to perform such a task?
What? I'm an amateur too, but I can pour water into a cup. Hell, even the judge can.
It's true. I'm afraid there's quite a big difference between a cup and an IV bag. Quite. Can you prove our witness is capable of such a feat?
He has a point, amateurs. I, at least, would have some difficulty pouring IV liquid into that bag. Only because it's not beef stew. I can pour beef stew into any sort of thing. Mostly my mouth. You don't need to be an expert to see the look on the witness's face. He added liquid to the IV to throw off the time of death.
I tire of these fairy tales lacking evidence.
Well, Mr. Wright, Any solid evidence to bring us back down to Earth? Valorant Grammary. I'm afraid your magic won't serve you well in a life of crime.
Might I ask what you're strongly suggesting?
Magic relies on props, and props become evidence. Our witness was certainly able to increase the amount of IV liquid in the bag. All he had to do was work a little magic, and the prop was, present the small syringe. The victim's syringe? It's the perfect prop for the magically increasing IV trick. And easy enough for an amateur to use.
What kind of evidence is that? The syringe was clean, not a trace of liquid in it.
Don't you find that odd, Prosecutor Gavin?
What?
The victim had the syringe to administer his insulin shots. There should have been traces of insulin left inside.
Nah.
Well, Valorant Grammary? As you pointed out yourself, the IV liquid makes the perfect clock. One that you could manipulate at will.
Alakazoo!
Yay, we're almost done. I do believe, well, with this being his first, that the burden of this trial has been a bit too much to bear for Prosecutor Gavin. I'm afraid that, while there is there is a doubt as to the amount of IV liquid in that bag, the time of death cannot be proven. And that brings our trial to a close for today. Well, maybe I can squeeze an extra day out of this. I can do a little much needed investigation work.
Oh boy. Heh.
I didn't get to read the judge line. I see there are no objections. Court is adjourned.
Objection.
Objection.
Objection. Truly, there's no substitute for experience. Nothing blinds one to the truth so effectively.
Hmm?
A word to the wise. Underestimate the young, and they'll sweep your feet out from under you. In a way you never, ever expected. You see, I know exactly what you're thinking.
Huh? What's he talking about?
You say the witness used the syringe to manipulate the level of the IV liquid, but there is no proof.
There's no proof he didn't do it either.
Yes, quite true.
Huh? He's admitting it?
Nor was this witness quite as decisive as I'd hoped. This, I admit. After all, why linger in the past when the future holds so much?
You have something in mind, Prosecutor Gavin?
Proof, Herr Judge. I have another way to prove my case. With evidence, no less.
What's this?
This is the victim, Magnify Grammary's diary.
Harry.
After going into the hospital, Magnify began writing his memoirs, it seems. The story of his birth, his startling debut. I almost read that as debt.
His startling death.
And meeting his disciples.
In
It seemed.
hell.
Huh?
I just said in hell.
In hell.
Because I said his startling death. And then meeting his disciples.
Well, I said debt. D-E-B-T.
Oh, I know. I said death.
Fair enough. It seems he intended for the last chapter to end, quite appropriately, with his death.
Wait. The book doesn't say what the reason was, does it? The reason why his disciples couldn't refuse his last request?
Sadly, it does not. What's important here is on the last page. Apparently, the victim wrote in his journal that night, even after the IV had begun at 11 p.m. Let's read it, shall we?
This does appear to have been written just before his death. The court accepts this into evidence.
Read the very last part with particular care. This journal may end here or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. Of course, by his, he refers to our defendant, Zach Grammery.
That would make sense, yes. He was the first scheduled visitor, after all.
But look at what he said before that. This journal may end here or it may go on. It may go on. Magnify Grammery intended to write again. That is, if Zach Grammery didn't pull the trigger. I see the defense understands the meaning of this. The victim's diary does not go on. It ends. Because Magnify's life was brought to an end by the defendant, Zach Grammery.
Order! 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 Prosecutor Gavin! Are you certain that Magnify Grammery wrote this?
There was no mistaking his handwriting.
Well, this does seem to be significant. According to this, Magnify did intend to continue his diary. Yes, if his diary ended here, which plainly it did,
Then the one who pulled the trigger was the first visitor, Zach Gramarye. Well, how do you like me now, Herr Wright? Still too green for your tastes, hmm?
hmm, he's right about the diary being pretty clear. Still, I find it hard to believe that he overlooked such an obvious problem with this precious evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, the witness's testimony he heard was lacking. But put together with this evidence, it seems quite sufficient for a case. If the diary is accepted like this, the trial's over. Maybe it's time for me to
No.
show them something.
No. I don't wanna. We have to, though.
Yeah.
Baiting Phoenix to present the fake page. True.
So bad. I'm left with no choice but to show my own evidence. What? You have some evidence that overturns this diary?
It's not too late to rethink this and avoid more embarrassment.
Very well. Please show us your evidence, Mr. Wright.
Incidentally, don't even think of showing us this diary I've just shown the court. Now that we've come this far, I hope you have something a little more decisive. Show us evidence that proves the victim continued writing his diary.
All right. I'd be happy to.
Top 10 images taken moments before disaster.
The decisive evidence proving the diary didn't end with this page is... First, take a close look at this diary. Note that the page has clearly been ripped out. What's this? I didn't notice that at all. My elderly eyes. I blame them once again. That's why we're still here talking about this. As it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page.
Alaka, I don't believe it!
Looking at this page, it's hard to imagine that the first visitor that night shot Magnifique Gramarye. That's the defense's position. Wait, let me see that. What in Sam Hill? Why, this is the continuation of the victim's diary. Note the torn edge of the page. It's the perfect match with the torn remains of the last page of Magnifi's diary.
Quite remarkable. Would you care to explain what all this means, Herr Attorney?
The diary continued after his first visitor came. Which means the victim was still alive after Zach Gramery left. Leaving no one to take his life but the second visitor. Valorant Gramery.
No. No!
The handwriting, too, matches that on the other pages. That is, without a doubt, the genuine article. No doubts. Order, order, order.
But wait! That's impossible! That old man couldn't have written that! Finally. You just couldn't resist. Could you, Herr Wright?
Resist what? Presenting solid evidence?
Al said that feel when Zack could have saved Phoenix by showing the real page. Yeah.
Well, Zach is an asshole, so...
Yeah. Herr Judge?
Yes, Prosecutor Gavin?
Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness.
But, Prosecutor Gavin... The evidence overturns the current witnesses...
I ask only to put it on hold. Please, my new witness has a very, very important piece of testimony to give. 5 minutes, no more. I promise, Your Honor.
Well, if you put it that way, Mr. Wright, what's your take on this? Well, Your Honor, judging from his enthusiasm, we'll have to hear this new testimony sooner or later anyway. So it might as well be sooner. Then, though this is highly, highly irregular, just like my bowel movements, we will put the current cross-examination on hold. The witness may step down. Now, Prosecutor Gavin, please bring this surprise witness to the courtroom. I had a bad feeling just then. That ripped out page was too obvious. He must have known. And I shouldn't have known, and I should have known it was a bad sign all around. Holding trial with no audience is a first. Even for me, Prosecutor Gavin.
I beg the court's understanding. But I had to make a judiciary deal with the witness to secure his testimony.
Judiciary deal?
The details of his testimony may have some legal ramifications, shall we say. I thought it best to contain the information to this room.
Very well. And you are the witness, I gather? We do have to voice him in the investigation next, too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you want to take him or...
Yes. Yes, sir. State your name and occupation for the record. My name's Drew Misham. I'm a painter.
Painter? You are somehow related to this case?
No, well, not per se. I have one simple question for this witness. Mr. Misham, was it? Do you know what this is? Oh, yeah. I know it well.
How is that possible? Have you seen this diary page somewhere before?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I made it.
Come on, Discord. You what? You made it?
Yes. You might call it one of my works. The prosecutor's office received a tip-off yesterday. Illegal evidence has been prepared for the trial of Zach Gramery.
Illegal evidence?
I initiated an investigation and found this witness. A painter to the world at large, Drew Misham has another side, you might say. He is skilled in making perfect reproductions of certain things. Forgeries, in other words.
Forgeries? Well, so we are to understand that this page here is...
A fake, prepared by a certain defense attorney.
Hold it. I didn't prepare this evidence.
Ah, the attorney speaks. Something about this page, I presume. But what is he saying? It makes no sense. After all, it was you who presented this evidence to us, Phoenix Wright.
Witness, or Mr. Misham, was it? Who requested this forgery? Who was your client?
That, I don't know.
What?
Most of my clients prefer to remain anonymous, even to me. I make the items they want, and they receive my payment. That's the extent of my contact with them.
But there's no proof. This is fake.
It's a fake.
Huh?
To avoid just this sort of problem, I always put a special mark on my works. I can say without a doubt, this is mine. Can I go home now?
No. But you can have a bowl of beef stew.
No, I'll have a bowl of beef.
Mr.
stew.
Wright. You have just presented illegal evidence in this court. My court. With my beef stew. It was careless of me.
Sorry, I thought I pressed A already.
That's all I can say. Ooh, oh, okay. This is just
Flashback.
yeah. It was all a trap. A fatal trap. Mr. Wright? Yes? Do you have an explanation for yourself? If I did, would the court hear it? Probably not. Forging evidence is a serious crime. And presenting it in court, a serious mistake. A fatal mistake for an attorney.
Fatal, too. Perhaps for your client, I fear. Tell me, what kind of defendant relies on forged evidence? The answer is quite clear. A guilty one!
Your Honor, wait! I understand that presenting forged evidence in the court is a serious crime. But you can't hold my client responsible for actions I undertook as an individual. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Your Honor?
Another close call, I dare say. If the prosecutor's office hadn't received that hot tip, everything would have gone the way you wanted it to, yeah?
Where do you think Gavin receives that hot tip?
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
I even gave you a chance. Too bad you decided not to think before embarrassing yourself.
I see no need for further discussion on the matter. Special witness dismissed.
Mr. Attorney?
Yes?
Could I ask your name?
Hmm? Phoenix Wright.
Mr. Wright. I have seen and studied many people, but none like you. I'll remember you, Mr. Wright. And we're back.
Though I deeply regret having declared a verdict in this way, His trial is over. You have the right to find a new attorney and make an appeal. However, this court must.
Your Honor?
Yes, Mr. Zack?
There is one thing I wish to make clear. Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. It is impossible.
I'm afraid the defendant is quite mistaken. I most certainly have the authority to declare a verdict on you.
Except, tell me, how do you plan on announcing your verdict when your defendant does not exist?
Doesn't exist? What are you talking about?
I am talking about this.
Mr. Enigmar!
The defendant's escaped. Find him, quick.
Bailiff! Close all exits from the building.
There we go. Hey. I'm guessing the stream died and a new one started.
Yes.
Fuck me. God damn it. Hi. Yeah, it did. It died for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I think Crunchyroll working.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. Alright, let's finish this up.
I just need you to, share the screen again.
Oh, yeah.
Can you do history?
It was just a one more line.
Yeah. On the double, he must not be allowed to escape. That day, in that courtroom, a miracle occurred. The defendant, Shady Enigmar, aka Zack Gramery, did not just escape from court. He literally, unbelievably, vanished. Right before the bailiff's eyes. No one ever saw him again. Not since that day.
This is the Grammary miracle! Ha 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 ha!
No verdict was declared. After all, the defendant didn't exist. That's how it happened. The trial of Zack Gramery vanished, along with him, for all eternity. The mysteries that remained behind were all solved, however. But not until 7 years later.
Internet couldn't have waited like 10 more minutes to die?
No.
No. Fucking piece of shit.
Hey, Apollo, we did it!
We did
We
it.
got through We got through another part of the trial. And I barely had any lines. What the fuck?
Yeah, there was
I'm like
no
I'm like the main character.
there was like no trucy in this stream. And on Landon's dad's son's birth eve day after.
What the fuck?
Mason system time. Next
That's for
time.
next week.
Alright. I gotta fucking download these because my internet is a piece of shit. But only every once in a while.
Yeah. I was wondering if it was me because the whole night did like the share screen for Discord was like a little laggy for me.
Hmm.
And so like I thought
No,
like something happened on my end, but then you just like dropped from the call and everything.
I
And then
noticed I noticed the green square on OBS turned red, and I'm like, ah, fuck. All right, well, thanks for joining, Al. Happy birthday to Landon again.
yay.
Yay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
I expect $20 sent to me in the mail, Jack.
Okay, I was gonna like buy you something, but I can do that.
No, you can do whatever you want.
All right.
Thank you, Al.
Thanks for joining, Al. We'll see you next week with more. We haven't discussed what days, but I don't know, probably Tuesday, Thursday?
Probably. I have Tuesday off. I just have to double check. I should be good for Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just
All
have
right.
to double check. Make sure I'm not closing at a gateway or something.
We'll see you next week then. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Oh shit, hold on. Al got trails from zero.
Oh shit. Oh shit. You better enjoy that shit, Al.
Hell
Some
yeah.
fun stuff.
Okay, bye.
Okay.